Hi guys, in this video we're going to do some 2D freehand sketching techniques. Just before we start the sketching techniques, I just want to show something really important about freehand sketching, and that will be the way that we do freehand sketching. So I've got a 0.5mm Vivid here and a 0.05mm Vivid, but you're just going to use a 2H pencil. Construction lines really light and thin, outlines dark. That's why I've got the two different types of Vivid. Just a note before we start working: when you do freehand sketching, you have to try and use your whole arm as one unit, because when we write, we normally write just with our wrist to form the letters, but when you want to sketch lines, your whole arm should be kind of stiff with just movements out of your shoulder. I just want to show you what happens if you just use your wrist. If you just use your wrist, it turns out lines like this, or sometimes little lines like that, which is not correct, so that's incorrect. When you do use your whole arm, you get straight lines like that, and that's correct. So that's an important note for a start, and that's what we can think of when we do freehand sketching. Now, it is a skill that you need to practice. The more you practice it, the better you'll become. So today we'll start with simple shapes. We'll start with a square first. Okay, so when you do a square, I'm just going to use my construction lines Vivid here. So I'm going to draw a square, and you can move the page around, guys. It's not like writing where you have to keep the page stationary. You can move the page. I like to draw horizontal lines. You might find vertical lines easier. So a square is basically just the construction of the square, and then you're going to fill in the lines. Remember, your corners should end exactly on each other. It shouldn't overlap. So here, when I do the corner, I'll go right from the corner down, and then there I go across as well. So that's just my quick little square, and you guys can have a go at that. If you practice this, you'll become better. So you'll do one with the teacher and do 2 or 3 underneath them, just for a little bit of practice. Then we'll do our triangle. So number 2 will be our triangle. So my triangle. Then I'm going to start again with the little square. So I'll do my construction lines, and I'll start with the square. And now all I need to do is I need to divide this line in half and draw a vertical line down, so more or less in half. And I'll draw a vertical line. Then I'm going to construct from that corner to the top, and from this corner to the bottom. And you can see your triangle starting there, so I'll just go dark, thick lines to scribe my triangle in. Okay. So most of these will start as a square. Most of our drawings today will start as a square. So the third one that I want to do with you guys is a circle. So the circle also starts its life off as a square, because a radius is just a lot. A circle is basically a lot of points around the center point, and your radius will have the same length. So we'll start with a square. So the circle will fit exactly into that. And there's my little. If you come to the stage and it looks a bit like a rectangle, you can go a little bit inwards and do that, because these lines will be so light you won't even see them. Then you're going to do diagonal lines from the corners. And by drawing diagonal lines from the corners, you also find the center of your square. And there's my diagonal lines. Then I'm going to divide this line in half with a vertical line. There's my vertical line. Then I'm going to draw a horizontal line. And now I'm going to imagine that's my radius. So I'll move this a little bit across. So that length across there will probably meet up there. There it will be the whole length. There it will be almost under that. There to the bottom, there a little bit up, there to the corner, and there a little bit there. So now I've got reference points to just connect together to get my circle in. With the circle, I like to go also construction line first. So try and hit most of your points. And then I'm just going to go dark over that line. So try and be as accurate as you can, but as long as people can see that you wanted to do a circle, that's good. So try 2 or 3 of them, try 2 or 3 of them, try 2 or 3 of them. Make sure that you think of your A4 page, that you fit everything in there. Then for our hexagon, number 4, now a hexagon, everything that's got more than 4 corners is classified as a polygon. You, for instance, 5 corners is a pentagon, 8 corners is a octagon, and 6 corners is a hexagon. So what you'll do is you'll start again with a square. We'll start with our little square there. And after you've done the square, you're going to divide a vertical line in half. So I'll divide my vertical line in half. I'll do my horizontal line in half. Now, this line that's left over here, I'm going to divide that in half, and I'm going to divide that line in half. So between the midpoint there and the end, I'm going to divide that in half. And then I'm going to divide that one in half. Now I can just mark my points if you want to, and you see where the hexagon will appear. And then I'm just going to draw it. So here's my hexagon. And that's normally, you identify that as a stop street. Then here we can just practice our alphabet. Now, not so much product designers, but in a way product designers as well, but architects love to use just capital letters in their writing if they make notes to their drawings. So you can scribe for yourself 5 more lines apart, just like this. And then you can start practicing your alphabet in capital letters, and try and be as neat as possible. And then under that you could just have maybe 4 more lines and just practice your numbers. Okay, so we've constructed a square, a triangle, a circle, a hexagon, and we just practice our capital letters. Remember this. Remember, it's not out of your wrist, but a whole arm movement. So try and do that, practice that. It is a new skill, you have to practice that. In the next video, in the next lesson, we're going to do turn these into 3D shapes, so that you can see how you transform a 2D shape into a 3D shape. Thanks for watching.